Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Okay. Church Nelly, thank you so much for being here first. Lorna Williams, Cecilia E. Nelson, Lady T, Connie Bomber. Hey, Connie Bomber. S is here, Marcia Ware, Connie Bomber. There we go. Connie. Let me see here. Lady T, I said that. So why don't I just go ahead and scroll all the way down to the last. I'm just checking to make sure I don't miss any super chats or super stickers or I guess you couldn't call it anniversaries, month anniversaries. Yeah, the month anniversaries. All right. I don't see any, so I think we're good. Very good. I ain't got the change of a nickel. Ain't got no bounce in my shoes. Ain't got no fancy to tickle. I ain't got nothing but the blues. Ain't got no coffee that's perkin'. Ain't got no winnings to lose. Ain't got no telephone numbers. I ain't got nothing but the blues. I love that song. Okay, so oh well, you know what? I tell you, I was dog sitting one time. You guys remember when I had the dog here? Well, let me tell you something. My neighbor's dog can raise hell. And so I haven't complained about it, but I used to shush my little dog sitting project. I used to shush her all the time, right? But the last time she was here, I was like, I almost pinched her to make sure that she would make some noise. I mean, every little thing I could do, I would scare her just to make sure she would make some noise. Because I'm just like, we ought to be able to dish it out just as well as we can take it. Hello. So I have earned the right to make noise. But okay, that being said, but yeah, I was so proud of her. She was barking and all that stuff, running around, jumping. I'm like, you do it, girl. I miss her. I should have her over again. Okay, so I see, let's see, Lorna Castellanos, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. Hey, Lambert Charles, sang it, Baron. Oh, thank you. You know what? I like so many different genres of music, and I love me some good old blues. But I appreciate that. Let me see. How do you say that? Corey. Corey. Uh, Corey? Anyway, I hope I got that right. But thank you so much for your comment. And Lisa Cook, thank you for the super sticker. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. And let's see, Susie Q. Hey, Baron and Squaddies, happy Sunday. Always, always, as soon as I start working. Happy Sunday. OMG, I was at Jamaica Day 2, second day, right? Celebrating our independence. All right, and thank you so much for the super chat. And thank you, as always, for watching Royal Sussex. And you know what? On that topic, why don't I just go ahead and go to my next slide? Thank you, Susie Q. All right, let me get me out of there. Thank you again for being a member of Royal Sussex. And let's see, and happy Independence Day to Jamaica. Elaine Parker, thank you for watching Royal Sussex, and thank you for being a member, a moderator, and thank you so much for the super sticker. All right. Hey, Lottie. Okay. Really? Really? You think so? You're gonna make me blush. You're gonna make me blush. Okay, but yes, it is Jamaican Independence Day, and I have so many reasons why I love Jamaica. Now, I've never been there. Full disclosure, I have never been, but some of my best memories within the past year have grown out of Jamaica. Some of my finest memories, some of the best laughs, some of the best, um, uh, well, I guess, little things about the Royals. You know how that is. But Trenchtown Man is from Jamaica. Bob Marley. I mean, come on, Jamaica. Well, anyway, on that topic, let us recall this. Thanks for the memories. The Cambridge is looking stupid in their colonial outfits and stupid. I thank you for the memories. Um, there are just so many things to unpack from that trip. Now, I'm not going to go down that lane this time, but I tell you, thank you, Jamaica. Um, you have done Western civilization a service, I promise you. Okay, by taking the shine off of those two, if nothing else. So take a look here. Now, here is my favorite memory from Jamaica. You all know this is my favorite. Picture it. Oh gosh, what year was that? Anyway, a prince of the realm is dispatched to go to Jamaica because there is rumblings about independence, about removing Her Majesty the Queen as the head of state. And so Harry, just a boy by all intents and purposes, just a boy, they send this young man on a chartered jet to Jamaica wearing a suit that didn't fit so well. That's because he hadn't met his future wife yet. And of course, he hadn't grown a beard. And just as pale as can be. I mean, he looks like Carnation condensed milk pale. Well, he gets off the plane, and the prime minister, the one that was doing all that fussing and waving her fists and clenching her jaws, and yeah, we're going to get rid of Britain. Yeah, we don't want to be in this Commonwealth anymore. All of that fussing and carrying on. And what happened? Harry got off that plane looking like, let's get it on. Ah, baby, let's get it on. Let's get it on. So you can see right there, the prime minister has said it was time for her country to take full charge of our destiny. I mean, it was like even an echo. She was just, of our destiny, 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 and replace the queen as head of state, state, state. So the queen, uh, being a little wise and worldly, all things considered, decided to send her favorite grandson to suppress the rebellion. So Harry goes there. You see, he's got on his suede shoes, a suit that barely fits, a necktie that looked like he got it from his grandfather. And right there in front of the portrait of the queen, he has managed to suppress a rebellion. Now, this is one of the reasons why we call him the Ginger Avenger. I mean, take a look at that. All of a sudden, she realized the moment, and she was like, get over here. I mean, he pulled her even closer, and it went from let's get it on to reunited, and it feels so good. There's one perfect thing, and sugar, this one is it. We both are so excited cause we're reunited. Hey, hey. I mean, Harry did the job. Now, I don't know if it was that English charm, if it was that kind of dopey looking, ill fitted, wrinkled suit he's wearing, but there was something about him that appealed to her softer side. And she went from waving her fists and stumping her feet and just as charmed. I mean, did he whisper something in her ear? Whatever it was, he managed to put that fire out. And then you take a look there, all of a sudden, there's the whole family all lined up on the steps like Brady Bunch. There's a picture of the Queens. And you know what? I just noticed something. It doesn't look like the Queen is smiling up there at the top of the steps, but somehow I kind of feel like that grin has gotten even bigger since Harry arrived. So there you go. Disaster averted. So, like I say, some of my favorite memories come from Jamaica. Connie Bomber! Thank you for the super sticker, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Oh, wait a minute. Does it look like Harry's suit has been pressed? Did someone press Harry's suit during the visit? How did they do that? It looks like his suit has been professionally pressed. I'm just saying, I can't really prove it, but it appears as though someone managed to at least get him to remove his jacket and press it while he was visiting. You know what? I bet you it's just the lighting, I'm sure. What is that? Connie Balmer to upgrade the membership level. Oh, Connie Balmer, you're attempting to upgrade the membership level? Thank you so much for that. Let's see. Sonia Johnson says, Baron, Jamaica saying, we little, but we, what is that? Talawa? Meaning, Talawa. Meaning we are the small island, but we do great things indeed. Well, there you go. There you go. Something happened. Yep, something happened that changed the fortunes for the Queen that day. And I can't help but think that sending her grandson was exactly what destiny called for. So Diane Hawkins says the Prime Minister said, we might want to go, but just not now. Bald eldest came ashore, and that's when it was time to go. Yeah, you're right about that. When William got there, everything changed. Oh no, Susie Q. Well, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for stopping by. Okay, let me go to this one. Now check it out. And then, of course, after Harry put out that fire, it was time to put on the blue suede shoes, as Elvis would say. Don't nobody step on my blue suede shoes. So, party hardy, blue suede shoes. What a great visit that was. Such a contrast to that rather prim and proper visit that William struggled through, right? And of course, you wouldn't be complete without the same boat. Again, Harry had a great time. He made quite the impression. And is there any wonder that people were looking on with anguish when they realized that they sent the wrong prince? Now, the cartoonists at the time, someone made this, go home to Jamaica, Windrush generation. And then over here on the right side, you could see a very, I would say, accurate image of Will and Kate being embraced by somebody in Jamaica. So that was yesterday, and today is welcome Prince William and Kate. Well, it didn't quite go as smoothly as that. I think that there were hardships on both sides, unfair hardships on the left and necessary, and I would say appropriate hardships on the right. But well, anyway, that was a disgusting thing that they actually stopped the deportation for like, I don't know, was it like a month before they went, and then of course they said they were going to repatriate people just as soon as the visit was over. You know, sometimes they don't even hide their contempt. I know. Did you see that? Did you see that? I told you it's a very accurate image of William. Very accurate. Who made this cartoon? I can see a little signature there in the middle, but I can't make it out. Now, of course, there is a phenomenon. There was a folk hero that was born from that visit. And that particular folk hero, I'm not sure, but I think they're probably going to build some type of monument to him because he was able to say what everybody else was thinking.
Prince, Trenchtown wants $245 billion. That's what Trenchtown wants. $345 billion. Yes, thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what Trenchtown wants. Yes. What do you mean?
Yes, there was a folk hero born out of that visit, and his name, Trenchtown Man. And Trenchtown Man made sure that there was a bill presented to Her Majesty upon return to the United Kingdom for you hear me, $335 trillion. At first, you know, he was going to give them a lower amount, but once he thought about it, no, 335 trillion dollars. That's our Trenchtown Man. And of course, Trenchtown Man's motto is, we always get paid. And that is how a very privileged young prince loses half of the Caribbean. All it took was a trip to Trenchtown. Not only did they lose the loyalty and love of the people, but they also returned with a bill for $335 trillion. Oh, I love that. I love that. Everybody loves Trenchtown Man. I tell you, he's a folk hero. I'm going to build a shrine to him later. All right. And of course, you know, I always say every time something happens, somebody's weird uncle starts selling T-shirts. And instead of saying, you know, free Trenchtown Man or free Jamaica, I decided to come up with a design of my own. Jamaica, come for vacation, stay for reparations. And to visit with Trenchtown Man. Now, as we were discussing the Commonwealth yesterday, someone pointed out about the Canadians embracing the idea of having the Invictus Game. And I did not have a slide prepared for that yesterday, but so if you recall from yesterday, there was the We Are News discussing the fact that, Australia, whichever town it is in Australia, and one of the towns in Canada declined the Commonwealth Games. And as you know, the majority of the people in the Commonwealth are people of color. The majority of the people do not look like that family that appeared on the balcony after the coronation. That's just a fact. Most people don't look like that. And in spite of that, their popularity was solid as long as the Queen was alive. But after the Queen died, everything has gone down a slippery slope. Will and Kate has worked more than I've ever seen in my life. And then, of course, you have Charles and Camilla. Charles is up in age. Camilla never did like to travel abroad. And even worse, she doesn't seem to be in the best of health. There may be problems with the newly minted Edinburghs. You can get Sophie out to work, but nobody ever sees Edward. And of course, in the House of York, there's a divorce there, so the Duchess of York cannot do royal duty. The Duke of York, well, he can't do anything. And all the rest of the clan is aging. And of course, Beatrice and Eugenie, they're not interested in that. So they're pretty much stuck. They cannot grow up those Cambridge kids fast enough. Well, there's supposed to be in the next 2 years a blitz across the Commonwealth with Will and Kate. I don't see that happening. William thinks even less of the Commonwealth than Charles does, and Charles is not interested. Joan Lawman, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. Happy Sunday to you. Or, Sunday. Had to think about it for a second. What day is this? There we go. Now, take a look here. Commonwealth Games, New Zealand Olympic Committee confirmed New Zealand won't replace Victoria as 2026 host. Canadian province Alberta cancels bid for 2030 Commonwealth game. It's not looking good. It is not looking good. I do believe that most of the people that score high at the Commonwealth Games, don't they end up going to the Olympics? But there's other ways to have those trials without it being something to elevate the stature of the British royal family. So cheers to Prince Harry for his success with his Invictus Games, and too bad to the haters in the firm that will have to try and use some of that stardust they have, what's left of it, and find a home for the future Commonwealth Games. But right now, nobody wants it. And just as they said on Weon, it's not because of the expense. They have the money, they just don't see any upside to it. So there you go. I think it has a lot to do with the Queen being more identified with the royal family than the actual royal family titles and status itself. Now, as you may have seen in the title, it says the tabloid distract game. What I mean by that, the tabloid's distraction game is they are trying to draw your attention and to get you to fight on social media to distract from Harry and Meghan's ever increasing popularity in the United States. And to do that, they have to keep up the assault. So what I'm trying to say, you guys, is brace yourself for incoming. We knew that this was going to happen. Hey, BS. We knew that this was going to happen. But it has started a little early, I think. And I could only imagine that they're just warming up. So, Better Up. You may have heard about some layoffs at Better Up. And of course, with no other information, or maybe they were able, I didn't read the article, maybe they were able to find a rogue employee to misquote, or former employee, or laid off employee. The whole point of it is, whatever happened to Better Up, you know they were going to blame Harry for it. Now, Harry, as they say, has been making 6 figures, 7 figures, whatever it is from Better Up. Harry likely has stock options with Better Up. Whatever is happening with their staffing, it has nothing to do with Prince Harry or what they're paying Prince Harry. As a matter of fact, a lot of people work there now or have worked there because the company expanded globally since Harry's presence with Better Up. You're not taking that away from Prince Harry. They tried it with other ventures. And by the way, this list is not scientific. I may have omitted a few things, but if you can think of something else that should be on that list that all of a sudden has become a thing, go ahead and put it down. But it's just like with Obama's birthday last year. They tried to create some association between the Sussexes staying home in California on, oh, actually, it wasn't last year, it was her 40th birthday, right? They tried to make some connection between Meghan staying home for her 40th birthday, a big hallmark, Barack Obama's 60th birthday, a big hallmark. Why would either one of them want to go to somebody else's house that shares the same birthday? Especially when we don't even know if that circle of friends and family invited are associated in any way whatsoever. We just don't know. It was stupid. It made little sense, and it was just designed to take some of the shine off of Harry and Meghan. And so, of course, Better Up with their staffing. I think they laid off 100 people. Twitter has laid off people. Facebook has laid off people. All of the tech firms are evaluating their staffing right now. Every tech firm, everyone in Silicon Valley is evaluating their staffing. Why would that exclude, or should I say, why would Better Up be excluded from that? That is the okey doke. Now, I'm not even bothering with a bunch of pictures and slides and stuff for this because I don't want to give it more attention than what it deserves. But I'm not here to tell you about what's happening because you know already. I'm here to tell you just brace yourself, ride the storm, and wait for Tokyo. And of course, what is the other one? Singapore? Just wait for that. They are bothered by the fact that Harry and Meghan are getting too much positive press. They're bothered because of Netflix. Netflix has been a thorn in the side of their enemies for a long time, especially because it keeps bringing them good luck. They have had so many great experiences because of signing that contract with Netflix, which, by the way, nobody knows how much it is. If anybody tells you they know how much the Sussexes are getting, they're lying. They don't know. None of them know. But what I know is that it has been a win-win situation through and through for Harry and Meghan. And they can't stand it because it is one of the bedrocks, not all of it, not most of it, but just part of the bedrock of their financial success, something that they did not want them to have. And so to try to insinuate that there is some type of problem with Netflix or that they were fired from Spotify, all of those things are designed to disparage and to discourage people from working with them. But yet their popularity has only grown, especially when it comes to young people, especially when it comes to the young, because they know better, as evident by that phone call, the phone calls the other day, as evident by those phone calls the other day, where they reached out to those young people and they were absolutely ecstatic to be on the phone with them. They were speechless and they can't take it because Harry and Meghan are still winning. Now, let me go to the next point that I have about that. Oh, yeah, as a matter of fact, let's take another look at that. Let's take another look at the response.
Hello, this is Tazine.
Hi, Jazine.
Hi, Jazine.
Hi. Oh my god.
I can't believe that I'm speaking with you both right now.
The Responsible Technology Youth Power Fund is an investment in young people that are shaping a more equitable and inclusive technology future. The Youth Power Fund is supporting 26 organizations from around the United States that are focused on the whole spectrum.
Mental health.
I felt like I had to get involved because I think young people are going to need to be heard.
In order for politicians to take action on this issue.
I got involved in a legislative advocacy initiative in my home state of California here in the US, and I actually came across an investigation that found that there were algorithms being used in our legal system here in the US that are actually biased against Black defendants.
Thank you for doing everything that you do. Our kids especially are incredibly grateful.
They don't know it yet.
They don't know it yet.
But they will.
So good to talk to you.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, everyone.
Have a good
Take
one.
care. Bye.
Bye.
They can't take it. They won't believe it. Nobody's gonna. They can't take it. They can't take it. Now, of course, marriage. I have not spoke about any of that nonsense, and I'm not about to start. The Sussexes are solid, and I'm just going to leave that one there. Netflix. I kind of mentioned that already, but they want to find some type of problem with Netflix so bad, although Netflix has done nothing but made money where Harry and Meghan are concerned. So let's see, what's that? Better Up sent a pre-registration for the next event in 2024. Hello, there you go. So if it wasn't for Harry, Better Up would still be a much smaller company. Now, the idea that they've had to reorganize their staffing is pretty typical of any company, let alone a tech firm. Sometimes you just have more people than what you need. And so that's self-explanatory. But yeah, they are trying it. Yep, I have nothing to say about the Trudeaus. Best of luck to them. That's another distraction. They try to find some kind of way to make it about Harry and Meghan. And then Travelers. Travelers, they thought they saw something and there was nothing there. Travelers is still firmly ensconced in Harry's CV, resume, portfolio, whatever you want to call it. That is one of his huge success stories. And if you look at some of the big companies that are glad to be involved with Travelers, everything from what was it, MasterCard, was it American Express, all of those big companies, I think at least a couple of airlines, all of those big companies that signed on to Travelers. And then last on my list, the Beckhams. As far as I know, the Beckhams' main residence is about 5,000 miles away. I don't know of anything. I don't even know if they were close before that. Harry knew a lot of people. Harry was acquainted with a lot of people, but close to David Beckham? Close to David Beckham? Really? Close? I think David Beckham is close to anybody in the family that could help bolster his image and help him get his OBE or whatever the alphabets are. So that doesn't make any sense. And I was looking at one of the quotes that said that Meghan was afraid that David would disrupt and outshine. And seriously? Meghan, the most popular royal of them all. I would say right now, the most popular woman on the planet today. I don't, I don't, I just don't. I don't have anything to add to that. Um, let's see. Leslie F says the Beckhams also live here in Florida. He owns a Miami soccer team. Yeah, I'm sure they have multiple residents, but I'm more than certain that home is the United Kingdom. And Harry, as far as we know, only has one home, and that is in Montecito. I don't know that the Beckhams ever lived in Santa Barbara. And if they are having some type of, I guess, connection, it's probably over Skype or Zoom. That just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. I don't even know if the Beckhams own property in California. They may have a property that's empty most of the year, or that the kids use. Who knows? But it just all of this is a distraction, and they're running these articles with all of this nonsense. And just yesterday, I just said that what was it? I was speaking about the what is that William is the patron of, the movies, whatever it is. I was just speaking about that yesterday, where they tried to say that Harry and Meghan were not invited to a luncheon for the BAFTA Awards. And because they were not invited or they did not attend, it's the same as the Sussexes not being at red carpet events. Most celebrities do not go to red carpets unless they're trying to sell something, unless they're promoting a movie or a TV show. Most of them choose to stay home. Unless you have a big project in the works that involves the cinema or some music event, none of them goes. You don't see that many people that's on the red carpet every time. And it's not as though that they weren't invited. They're not interested in going. Most people really want to go to the after party. It's like when you have the Academy Awards, they have to pay people to dress smart and fill the seats when the other celebrities leave for the night, when the other celebrities are at the bar, when the other celebrities are gone to the after party. It's not that big of a deal. It's really a night for the people that are in the categories and the person that wins. That's it. And they try to make it sound like, oh, Harry and Meghan, will they go to so-and-so? It's nonsense. So, you guys, like I said, this is nothing but a distraction. Oh, there you go. See there? Leslie says she was one of the seat fillers before. There you go. That's common. Not everybody wants to walk a red carpet. It's fun the first time, but I'm pretty sure it gets old fast if you're not actually doing anything to bolster your image or lift or elevate your career. It's a big fat nothing burger. It's always cool to see other celebrities, but again, the Sussexes, they're not starstruck by anybody. Meghan certainly isn't. After all, she's been around Hollywood from day one. Harry certainly isn't. His mother was the most photographed woman in the world. So what of it? He was the most popular royal, even when the Queen was alive. 1960 says, Baron, as far as the Beckhams are concerned, that seems more like a Kate problem than a Meghan problem. Meghan is not afraid of anyone upstaging her. She knows who she is. What's that again? She knows who she is. One more time. She knows who she is. Thank you. Thank you. Exactly. Meghan's not intimidated by other people's success and other people's stardom. That, like you say, that seems like the other couple's issue, not the Sussexes. VS says, UK media always says that Harry and Meghan are not wanted by Hollywood, yet they continue to try and put them in Hollywood. Double talk by UK media. Yes, VS, that is so true. It's like they want to pull them away from it, and then they want to keep trying to shove them back in there again. Exactly. They either want to be there and they don't want to be there. They want them there, they don't want them there. I am getting dizzy from it. It's just so stupid. But thank you so much, VS. Victoria Beckham, as far as I know, is pretty tight-lipped. Unless it's about one of her kids, then she becomes Mama Bear. Yes, that's it. I just, most of this stuff, I'm just like, oh, yeah, yeah. But the Beckhams, that's the one that got me. Is just like, where did that come from? Not that they need to have a good reason for it, because they'll just make up stuff. But the Beckhams, whoever would have thought that they were that tight to begin with? I'm okay. Okay. You don't ever see Meghan and Serena in the same room. I would expect them to say that there's some tension between the Sussexes and Serena and Alexei, her husband. I would expect something like that, since they seem to be much closer to the Sussexes. Or how about Tyler? Or people that are closer. But the Beckhams, I mean, that's just so far-fetched and out of. I don't know why they invited them to the wedding. It wasn't like they were friends with Harry. I don't think Harry was close to either one of them. For Harry, the what do you call it? The Spice Girls, that was like a pubescent juvenile crush. But then he grew up. He's almost 40. He's not thinking about that stuff. He has a family. He has a Spice Girl or Spicy. He has enough spice in his life. He don't need all that. So yeah, that's the one that gets me, is the Beckhams. I'm just like, the Beckhams, if anything, it helps to elevate their image, not the Sussexes. They don't need that. They have plenty of money. And you know what? Speaking of which, did you guys notice that throughout all of this assaults and attacks and everything on the Sussexes, did you notice that they omit the mention of a $2 million gift? Now, I thought they were supposed to be so broke and so destitute. How in the world did they come up with $2 million to donate? How did that happen? And they make it seem like Harry and Meghan haven't already had a successful docuseries. And for Harry, that is, let me see. Harry also had the Eye of Invictus. Was that the name of the one that he had before on Netflix? Harry also had the Me You Can't See. So Harry has had his share of success as far as documentaries are concerned. And I'm not talking about financial success, but just success. They have name recognition. And with name recognition, you could take the dumbest C-student son of a president of the United States and put him in the White House. It happened with George Bush. Name recognition is name recognition. You can get prime ministers, presidents, and of course, we'll find that there will be a future king that is only there because of what family he was born into. So it just, I don't know. I'm just, I'm not upset. I'm just outdone. I'm just outdone. It's just so, I'm like, the Beckhams, where did they come from? I'm like, what are you doing here? Oh, let me see. I meant Zara's broke nose, tongue ring, loving, still current husband might have a relationship with the Beckhams, who have now received more attention tonight than the last decade. Thank you, Diane Hawkins. That's why I'm just like, the Beckhams, who are they? They haven't been relevant for quite some time. They haven't been relevant for a minute. So why the Beckhams? The last thing we heard from David Beckham is when he was standing in line trying to walk past the Queen's coffin. That's the last thing. And of course, when they flew him to the Earth flop from the Middle East, he got into trouble because he was the name recognition for whatever World Cup or whatever it was. And of course, the way that they say they have some human rights abuses and that the government is anti-LGBTQ. Why are you there? That's the last thing I heard about him. But other than that, he's been pretty invisible. So Angela Stanley says, I don't even have total control over the invite list to, I'm sorry, they don't even have total control over the invite list to weddings anyway. I'm sure it was a bunch of aristocrats they either barely knew or didn't know at all. Yes, thank you so much, Angelina Stanley. That is so true. A lot of it is politics and a few other things, but I'm pretty sure, you know, where the Beckhams were concerned, that was maybe there was some type of help or something. I mean, because I think that Meghan and Victoria have a friendship. I think they have a friendship. I don't know how close they are, but I know they have some type of friendship. And Meghan, I think, wore one of her outfits before. But I'm just like, the idea that either one of them sold stories, are they that broke, the Beckhams, that they would need to sell a story? That was stupid. I mean, they're filthy rich, or as they used to say, rich as Roosevelt. They don't need to sell a story to anybody. It doesn't make any sense, the whole thing. And again, I didn't read the article, but just on the surface, it seems like a big fat nothing burger. YM Joyce says, look like the last time Harry went to the BAFTAs was in 2015 or 16. Well, before Meghan came along, he didn't attend after that. Thank you so much, YM Joy. And of course, thank you for being a member and watching Royal Sussex. Yeah, so there you go. Harry has his favorite stars that he, Harry, like anybody else in the royal family, he's had his moments of being starstruck. The Queen has been starstruck. They all have their favorites. And of course, we all know that the Cambridges used to watch Suits and then go crawl up in the bed and try to make something happen, whatever they were doing. Bunch of weirdos. But we all know they used to watch Suits, and they were a bit starstruck with the Duchess of Sussex, which turned into lust and jealousy. Or was it already lust? But it turned into jealousy at the very least. And once they realized that she was super popular, people loved her and continue to love her, by the way. And whatever the tabloids say, the majority of the people in the United Kingdom do not have a problem with the Duchess of Sussex. As a matter of fact, as you actually question people, you'll find that so many of them that are tolerant of the royal family and have a bit of knowledge and wisdom, and that includes the young, they see exactly what's going on. They know it's a no-win situation for the Sussexes to be there. And speaking of be there, why are they still beating that drum about will they ever come back? Or they can't come back. They'll never come back now. I'm just like, this is August 2023. Did you fall and bump your heads? You do know that this is August of 2023. Coming back. I'm just like, am I in a twilight zone? Are we still? Did I fall asleep years ago and wake up and did I travel back in time? What happened? Are we still saying they can never come back now? I mean, seriously, they have run out of stuff to talk about. Victoria Beckham fashion venture was dying and Meghan wearing one of her dresses while she was in the UK resurrected Victoria's brand for a minute. Now, if I'm correct, isn't it this dress? Wasn't that the one? I believe it was this one. But yeah, so Meghan, And it doesn't mean that they were so close. It just means that Meghan was wearing a brand from Britain, as most people in the royal family do. They try to support the brands, and that is a British label. So she was just wearing a British label, but it doesn't mean that they were ever that close. I'm sure that they were cordial, but I don't know that they were ever close. That just didn't make sense. Thank you, Lori. B. Martim says, Baron, it's not their fault. The royal family failed to read the room. Suck it up. Thank you so much for that, B. Martim. And that's exactly how it is. They haven't been able to read the room. And one of the best evidence that they could not read the room and still cannot read the room is that failed tour of the Caribbean. That is people that do not know how to read the room. So take a look here. Canada's Alberta Council bid for the 2030 Commonwealth Game over costs weeks after Australia Victoria pulled out of hosting the 2026 Games. But as a contrast to that, take a look. There you are. They are they are in Toronto. I don't know if that was from the Toronto game. Harry's Invictus game made such a great impression when they had the games in Toronto that if you fast forward, you can see Invictus Games return to Canada with first ever winter hybrid edition. The government of Canada and the province of British Columbia pledged $31 million to support the 2025 24 May 2022 Vancouver, British Columbia Veterans Affairs Canada. Last month, Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex, announced Canada as host. So Canada wins 2025 bid for Invictus Games in Vancouver and Whistler, the Invictus Games in February 2025. We're not going backwards. We are moving forward, and that's all to it. This is the eve of a huge Invictus Games for Harry, the biggest yet, I believe. And they can't take it, and they are doing everything that they can to try to discourage people, to try to disparage the Sussex, the Sausage Squad. Yeah, they're coming after the Sausage Squad. YM Joy said, and Charles was starstruck by Seabiscuit. Absolutely. I think it was her gait. When he saw her running with that gait, he recognized the healthy, vigorous gait that she had and the way she would whinny and oh, the way she could take a carrot and make it disappear, and all of those things was enough to endear Charles to his future wife. So yeah, you're right about that. Thank you. I might have overlooked it, but right. You're right, BS. Allegedly, Meghan never wore a British label, and of course the her wedding gown, right? Claire Waite Keller, she's British. So even though it was the house of Givenchy, I mean, it was a British designer that designed the dress. So, like they say, they just make up stuff. Just like Camilla Tominey, they all make up stuff. Let's see. Shay says the sponsors and prize they can get from Invictus is a way better or over the top from participating on that useless and waste of money Commonwealth game. So true. I am surprised, though. I am really surprised that no one's interested in the Commonwealth Games in the future. That is a surprise. It seemed, but I think that most people are reading the room, as we just said, and because the people in Canada are not that interested in Charles right now, so much of the popularity of the royal family was embodied in the Queen, and nobody wanted to go against the Queen while she was alive. That would seem cruel, but she's gone. She's gone, and that is the very root of it, is that the Queen was more popular than the royal family itself. The royal family was so identified uh, by the Queen; it was part of her identity. You couldn't have one without the other, and so that explains why there is no discussion of a memorial for the Queen. That explains why they rarely ever speak her name. There's no monument. They couldn't take her off the postage stamps fast enough. They couldn't remove her from the currency fast enough. But the problem is, most places in the world where the Queen was on the currency, uh, they're not going to replace it with Charles. They're like, well, we got some native heroes that we would like to use on the currency. So I know it seems like I'm worried about them because I keep talking about it, but I am more fascinated than anything else, and certainly not worried about the royal family. They're always going to be there. They're not going anywhere, but their prestige is dying. It will be very difficult to justify the enormous costs of maintenance for that system in the coming years. And people are going to wake up to it. Right now, everything is going their way. It really is going their way. But William, if he's smart, if you're listening, William, if I was you, I would approach that throne with a budget. And I do mean with a budget. I would approach it with a budget, because if you don't, whatever it is you refuse to give up, they're going to take it from you, and you are going to be embarrassed. But they're going to take it from you. There's no way in the world that system can continue the way it does. And I said that to one of the people when I was at the Troop in the Colors. I've said this before. If you never heard it, I will repeat it. I said to the guy next to me as we were all talking back, I said, well, when the Queen goes, all of this goes too. And the guy was like, you think so? I said, sure. Now, people confuse me being an Anglophile and a royalist. I'm not a royalist. I'm an Anglophile. I have fun with the idea of it, of the royal family, but that's it. You don't see me going out of my way to be over there and living my life out there, because it's not that important to me. It's to me, it's like going to Disneyland or Disney World. Everything is so different. There's dragons, there's unicorns, lions, and all that kind of stuff. That is the way most Americans see it. It's an escape. It's an escape, just like watching a movie. It's an escape, but it's not the system that we live in, and it's not one that most people are crazy about. Even the ones that are so anti-Sussex, you would think that they would swim the English Channel if they thought they could be a part of Britain. No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't want it. They only are enjoying the costume dramas. They are enjoying the period pieces. They are enjoying the upstairs, downstairs. No different than when Dynasty was on television. And watching rich people have problems is a pastime. And that's what the royal family is. We're watching rich people have problems. That has always been entertaining. It always has, and it always will be. Other than that, I don't think anybody is that interested in it. So that is what they're trying to convince the world is very important, when the truth is it's an oddity and a curiosity, and that's it. Nobody and best evidence of that, the best evidence, I'm going to show you right now, the best evidence that what I say is true. Take a look at this sourpuss. When he was single, And he was on again, off again with this useless, lazy, muskrat brown hair extension individual. When he was dating her on and off again, he broke up that last time to make it clear to anybody who was interested that I'm available. And what happened? Crickets. That's what happened. Crickets. He was sending a signal to other women, to other aristocrats, that I am available. And their response was crickets. And he was stuck with her because at that point, he had no place else to go. Nobody else wanted him. Nobody else wanted him. Nobody had a low enough sense of self to fulfill that position. Remember, they didn't want anyone that was intelligent, anyone that was self-motivated. They wanted a jointed doll that you could put clothes on and march in front of a crowd. And I'm not just, trying to be funny, but that's true. They didn't want anyone that was self-motivated, anyone that was accomplished. It was very important that they found someone that was pliable enough to take on the role and to be, let me see, what is that word that I'm looking for? Oh, I know. Let me see.
Reasons Catherine is so popular amongst certain demographics, and I'm going to say older people and men, is because she says absolutely nothing. She's a good little girl who keeps quiet and doesn't complain, doesn't do anything, doesn't rock the boat, and is a very traditional, old-fashioned mute woman.
Take note, Nicola. There it is.
And that goes to show that Harry, and that's everybody thought Harry was so simple-minded. Harry didn't have any thoughts of his own. Harry lacked intelligence. He didn't do so well at school, which makes both of them, because William didn't do much either. Obviously, he doesn't know geography, and that's his major, geography. Knows very little about the world. And yet, Harry is the one that started the Invictus Games. Harry is the one that started the Tabloids. Harry is the one who has been out working and self-sufficient. Harry is the one who actually purchased a property that's not part of the Crown estate. Harry is the one, not William. Harry. Harry's no monster. It's all in Harry's book, and he's bringing it out right now. It's in his book.
Prince Harry, and Prince Harry should be king. He should be king. Prince Harry, not William. William and all of them in there, Camilla is the wicked witch of the devil himself, because she is part of why Princess Diana is not here. I do not like them. I am from the islands, and we don't need them in the Caribbean. Get lost. Demolish the monarchy. This is 2023, okay? And I will support Harry 100%. I do feel for him. Yes, I do. And everything in the book is the truth. And Charles is the monster, not Harry. Harry's no monster, not Meghan. He's bringing the story out right now. They are evil people. They are not nice. Behind the wall, we all are one human being. And behind that wall there are no difference with me and you and any other Brits. Give the people back the money. They are just welfare recipients living off the taxpayers of the British people. And the British people are stupid, supporting that nonsense monarchy. It is nothing. It's just a title. It means nothing, a title. I'm angry at them.
So there you go. Now, does my eyes deceive me? But did I actually? Yes, there is a message from Her Majesty. Now, we have not heard from her in quite some time. We haven't heard from her in quite some time. I'm sure we have a lot to catch up on. Let me see here. It's no good without a good intro, right? Got to have a good intro. So, and with that, here we go. Royal message. I, Queen Elizabeth II, ruler of the United Kingdom and the fading Commonwealth, do hereby declare that I will be auditioning for a spot on Suits. Better late than never, as Philip would say. Lizzie out. Well, thank you, Your Majesty. It has been a moment, but I don't see why they wouldn't be eager to sign her up. Like, for instance, what about this performance right here where the Queen gave her full-throated support to Camilla, the Wicked Witch of the Devil? Now, if that's not acting, I don't know what is. So if the Queen could get through that, I see no reason why she wouldn't fit in on Suits. Thank you so much, Your Majesty, and thank you for 70 years of service. All right. It's been a minute, but thank you so much, Sean, for communicating to the great beyond, to the Queen, because I was worried about it. I thought maybe she was too busy for us. Joyce Yvette Davis says, I think one of the reasons Kate dresses so funny, besides Kate's bad taste, is because they don't want Kate to dress better than William. Kate dresses the way they want her to. Thank you so much for that, Joyce. And that is true, because if you recall, the way that Charles would grimace every time Princess Diana would step out of the house, and she was wearing those outfits sometimes that was so dowdy and so, and it looked elegant because, after all, Diana being almost 6 feet tall, everything's going to look good on her, especially a slender, tall woman. Everything agrees with you. However, once the relationship had gone south and Diana was doing things on her own, that's when she really brought out the labels like Versace and such. And she abandoned all of that school teacher wear and such. So, yeah, I believe that. I believe that Kate has been Kate has been auditioning. It seems to me the past few months, Kate has been working more than ever, and she's been playing this role with all the early years and Shape of Us stuff. She's been playing a role as though she's auditioning for her job, to keep her job. But increasingly, we keep hearing that their relationship has gone terribly wrong, her and William. So, oh, by the way, let's see here. Thank you so much for the PayPal. Okay, I'll just say the initials. JW. Thank you so much for the PayPal, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. I had to turn my ringer off, so I just noticed that, but thank you so much. Greatly appreciated, and thank you for supporting this channel. All right. And thank you again, Joyce. And that is a very wise observation. Anything to make sure that she doesn't take the shine away from her husband. Even with that huge patch in the middle of his head, sometime his light is dimmed. Oh, let's see. Dara Edgehill says, remember Harry said with Dr. Mateo that until the army, he was told he was dumb, to which after a while you believe what you're told. Harry found out truth and believed he could just work for what you want. Exactly, Dara. Yeah, he had an awakening. He had an awakening. And the final piece that came together was when he met Rachel Meghan Markle. That was the final piece of the puzzle. And once that happened, once his mind was set free, once he realized even further what the possibilities were, that he could have a life away from that institution, he had just accepted his fate. He had just accepted his fate. He was going through the motions and trying desperately to respect his grandmother, respect the institution, all of those things that he was indoctrinated with. And you know, when Harry turns 40, when he turns 40, he's going to, it's something about 40 overnight, you see everything differently. And when that time comes, I think that some of the notions about the possibilities of monarchy is going to fade. Because right now he's optimistic that the monarchy is still a worthwhile situation for everyone, but it's not. It's not. It's certainly not for him. And I get, if I understand Harry, I get what he feels about it, because I don't like to ever say never. I don't like to give up on people or situations or anything. I always like to believe that there's possibilities in everything, right? But at the same time, sometimes you just have to accept that change is inevitable, but it ain't necessarily the change that you want it to be. And so you have to move on. You have to calibrate. You have to adjust and move on. And so I think he's still in the process of moving on. And the further he gets away from the institution and the life that he had, the better off he'll be, I think. And especially for the sake of his children's future, because if there's any way that they are ever deceived into being close to that family, I'm not afraid for them. They're adults, but I am afraid for the children. I think the children would be in some form of danger with that institution. And not necessarily a physical danger, but they've already been othered. They were othered before they were born. They were othered as infants. They literally took the queen to war against her grandchild, her great-grandchild, over a name. And if any institution that would do that is capable of anything, just like they said before before World War II, before the Holocaust, anyone who would burn books would burn people, right? That is what someone said, and they were right. And so anybody who would go to war against an infant child is capable of anything. I say don't turn your back on them. B. Martin, Baron, that's a long audition. Didn't she get the job? Well, let me see. It started probably when she was in high school. And then when they found out where William was going to college, and of course, his party pieces, whatever it really was, took off and they could afford nicer things. But yeah, it is a long audition, and she is only just coming into herself. She's only just found her voice, all of that stuff. She has been keening. Remember the keening season. And keening season, that is like around New Year's when Kate is keen to do this and keen to do that. That's what they call it on Celibacy, the keening season. So thank you, B. Martin, for the super chat. And thank you for being here on Royal Sussex. Wow, almost 1,500 people. Please don't forget to hit that like button. Okay. All right. I have no fear Harry's going back. Look at any of his early interviews. He had always planned to leave the UK. Absolutely. Yeah. You know what I think, though? I think that they believe that they can make a deal because Harry doesn't need them. But God, do they need Harry? Ooh, they need Harry. And I don't think that Meghan fits into that because there's been too much said and too much done. So at age 42, in order to undo the damage that has been done at age 42, Meghan would probably have to wait until she's old as Camilla before people ever changed, which means that the older folks will have died out and the younger folks, well, I believe that she would be embraced by younger people. But we ain't got that kind of time because you could waste a whole lifetime trying to get people to like you. And Meghan's not going to do that. I don't want her to do that. Harry doesn't want her to do that. It's not in anybody's interest but the UK. And by then, of course, who knows what the state of the Cambridge children will be. They are assuming that the Cambridge kids will be fit for purpose once they're of age. But the big difference is the Cambridge kids are growing up in a world of social media. Okay? They are going to want their own platforms. They are going to want different things in life than what their parents wanted. I don't think, I believe William is the last of the company man when it comes to the royal family. I think he's the last. I just could not imagine that they will be able to contain those kids when they come of age because you don't have the queen to look to. Harry and William had the queen, and the queen was solid. She was solid. She was consistent. She hadn't done anything to disgrace herself in the public. Her son, on the other hand, has been nothing but a disgrace. So nobody's going to look for him for any type of moral support. That's impossible, especially as long as Camilla's there. There is no moral support for him and no moral support from her. That's impossible. And as for William, he's not much of an elder statesman. He's not intelligent enough to be in the role of the queen to give that type of guidance and consideration. So those kids will be stuck with the men in gray suits. They will be the ones that are going to, what is the word I'm looking for? Intellectualize them into their roles. And that is not going to do anything but make them crazy. So I'm sorry for those kids. I really feel bad for them, but they are not going to be what they're hoping that they will. That's impossible. Thank you, Rosalind. But yeah, they are going to spiral, wash down the drain as an institution. Those kids are going to want something different. Now, let's get on to a lighter topic, shall we? I have been waiting for this. There has always been a big competition between Cologne and Dusseldorf. Cologne is a beautiful city. I went there back in 2018. I loved it. I ate so many sausages that I literally belched my way out of town. Every day, I could not wait to find the nearest sausage stand. I ate one after the other. The way that skin would snap between my two teeth, and I would dip it in that curry's worth and and then take a bite of that hard roll. Oh, it was so good. You can taste the spice and seasoning all ground up inside of that meat. Oh my goodness, it was a treat for the tongue. But Dusseldorf, I don't know anything about it. I know I love saying Dusseldorf. That's about it. Now, if you take a look here, there is the mascot for the Invictus Games. And if that's not enough, wait until you see what I did. I was working on a very, 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 very short video. Where is it? Okay, there we go. Or is that it? All right. Nope, that's not it. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Got it. Got it. He's got it. Yeah, baby, he's got it. I'm your Venus. I'm your fire, your desire. There we go. I'm your Venus. I'm your fire, your... There you go. That was the placing of the I Am right there in one of the canals, I guess, but or the river. So yeah, they are excited for the Invictus Games. As you know, they have a train that's wrapped. They have buses that are wrapped and all kinds of stuff that they've done. And right there at the top of the chat, thank you, Lydia, for that. I just put the link to the apparel for the Invictus Games. So even if you can't go, you can still grab some of that apparel to show your support from miles away. And right there, you can see another view of it. I'm sure that looks amazing. I don't know if that's the town hall in the background or what, but what a beautiful sight. You got a fountain, and then, of course, that pond is serving as a reflecting pool for the Invictus sign there. Very, very cool. I meant to share that with you guys a while ago, and I forgot I had the video. And right there, you can see Prince Harry. I believe that gift, I'm not sure. No, it's not the flag, but they did have a, and you can see the train that is wrapped behind them. So that was last September before it happened. That was last September. Okay. All right. So that was what I wanted to share with you there. And yes, you just saw a sneak peek of Woo Woo. I got just a little bit to say about him, not a lot. I've been trying to dial back the Wooten coverage on those days when it's not necessary. So until they release something else, then I'm gonna, shy away from it a little bit. Okay, let me see here. And we saw that one already. Oh, is this it? Let me see.
gold medal for Team the United States of America. The United States represented by number 23, Sean Rollins, 24, Josh Rodman, 21, Joel Rodriguez, 3, Tisha Knickerbocker, 20, Kevin Green, 6, Brent Garlick, 17, Earl Olinger, 7, George Vera, 11, Kevin Green, number 9, Jay Smooth, number 10, Larry Franklin Jr., number 5, Darby Cha, number 13, Andres Rodriguez, number 35, Carlos Jimenez. Coach of Team USA is Daniel Kesher.
I knew I had it somewhere. That was the flag raising ceremony that they had in the town hall in Dusseldorf. So if you remember that square, that's where Harry and Meghan got out and walked the red carpet last September. And that is where they had the flag raising ceremony. So I knew I had it on video somewhere. And I'm like, yes, I have that. I have a bunch of videos that I made from the games last year. So thought I would share that with you before we went on to Desperate Dan. All right. Thank you so much. Let's move on to the next thing. Do you have any comments? Let me take a look before I go to Desperate Dan. Haven't looked at the comments in a while. Cookies and cream. Meghan will never make the mistake of trusting that ungodly, unroyal family ever again. Too much has been said and done by the unroyals and their racist hounds against Meghan and her kids. Yeah, that would be a big mistake to trust them. And what's so, I guess, sinister about that family is they would actually attempt to undo what they've done in order to save the institution. But you would have to have someone willingly participate to make that possible. And I don't believe that Meghan would, and I don't ever suspect Harry would even want to or ever ask her to do something like that. But the royal family needs them desperately. They have dug a hole for themselves. They are in a particular situation. They don't have enough people. And that is why Afro Annie said in that interview that instead of a slimmed down monarchy, you actually need to go the other direction. And Charles is still trying to be right. He is being stubborn and righteous and indignant about something that is not working. It is not working. It's okay though. I'm enjoying the show. I am enjoying the show, watching them disintegrate. Okay. I would let Harry wear his uniform. He serves under the authority of the sovereign, and knowing how Charles treats Meghan, they won't allow Harry to wear his uniform, military uniform. Yeah, that whole thing with the uniform. You know, I suppose that after the Queen's death, that's the end of that. And I hope that Harry wouldn't even allow himself to entertain the idea of wearing that thing. Okay, so let's get on. And of course, this is the latest image of Dan that I've seen. Now, I don't know. It seems like an older image, but I think whether it's current or whether it's an old photo, I would imagine that this pretty much is how Martin Branning is, or I'm sorry, how could I be so foolish? How Dan Wooten, the one who is against the Sausage Squad, I can only imagine that's how he's feeling right now. He's wearing his emotions all over his smug face. This is like one of the few images that I've seen where he doesn't look like he's about to eat a small mammal alive. This is one of those few images. Charlene, okay, there we go. Charlene Bates, thank you so much for becoming a new member of Royal Sussex. Thank you so much for that. And thank you for watching. And thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, thank you so much. Leslie F., you are brilliant. His name is Andrew Gold, worked at the Sun when Dan was there. He has a conspiracy cult channel dismantling like Scientology. Really? I love conspiracy theories. I don't always believe everything they say, of course, but I love conspiracy theories. I like seeing how they link things together and come up with those hypotheses and all that kind of stuff. I used to, well, I won't even say the name of one of the people I used to watch, but I didn't buy his nonsense. But anyway, he got in a lot of trouble. But thank you so much, Leslie F. So Andrew Gold, interesting. I'm going to have to look him up. Now, I love, love, love this photo of the Sussexes. Give me some hearts if you love this photo. Don't you love it? I love it. I mean, it's just, you know, I love it so much. And I'm going to tell you why I know I loved it so much. Because when I first saw it, this guy was in the middle of it. And I was like, ugh, ugh. Who the heck is that? So I removed him. I was like, this is nice, but Connor, oh, yuck. Connor has to go. So Tyler, Connor, Chad, whatever his name is, Connor had to go. What's another one of those names that they use? One of those names that people like to use for their kids when they think it's real clever. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it at Connor. Yeah, Connor had to go. Con, get out of here, Connor. Connor, you're getting on my nerves. You play too much, Connor. So Connor had to go. And with one clean swoop, I took a software scalpel to him and lifted him off the image in one swoop. And so now the photo looks the way it ought to be, right? There you go. Ugh, Connor. Get out of here, Connor. Connor. All right. So I have some history to share with you guys. On August the 6th, 1965, President Lyndon Baines Johnson signed the Voting Rights Act, guaranteeing African Americans the right to vote. The bill made it illegal to impose restrictions, such as a poll tax, on federal, state, and local elections that were designed to deny the vote of Black people. Yes, that was 1965. Lyndon Baines Johnson signed the Voting Rights Act. And if you look in the background, you'll notice there to witness this signing was none other than the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. There he is in the background. And also it was said that, oh gosh, what's her name? Didn't want to give up her seat. Not Ida B. Wells. How could I forget her name? You know, didn't want to give up her seat. She's there as well. And Rosa Parks. You know, I was like, it's Rose something. Rosa Parks was there as well, even though she's not in the photo. And if you take a look here, you can see after signing the bill into law, Lyndon Johnson reached over to the most important person in the room, Martin Luther King, and shook his hand and offered him one of the pens that he signed this law, which is a tradition. If you notice right there in front of him, there is a collection of pens. And traditionally, the president signing those big things into law like that, they will gift the pen, they'll sign the next document, gift the pen, sign another document, gift the pen. And so that's what he's doing right there. Now, this ceremony took place, I believe, it looks like the East Room of the White House. I think that's the East Room. But then again, I thought I read that it was the United States Capitol. Yeah, that is the Capitol building, not the East Room. And so right there, you can see the document that was signed August 6, 1963. President Lyndon Baines Johnson. And it looks like the Speaker of the House and the President of the Senate, no, the President pro tem of the Senate, I think it was Hubert Humphrey. Anyway, that is Hubert Humphrey's signature. He was, no, yeah, Hubert Humphrey was never, oh no, was he the vice president? Was he for Johnson? I thought Johnson didn't have a vice president. Huh, that's interesting. I don't know that one. And you guys may recognize that handsome young man there. Do you guys recognize him? The one who used to say, "Get in good trouble." You might recognize him. That is none other than Congressman, the legendary Congressman John Lewis, who has had his share of injury in order to secure the rights of Black people in this country. So everybody who was somebody that had to do with the civil rights movement was there. And again, that was August the 6th, 1965. Super victim. That is what they call Donald Trump, super victim, because he's always victimized. It's always some type of conspiracy against him. The system is rigged. He's been saying that for decades. The system is rigged. So if you guys were wondering, whether he had superpowers. That is his superpower, is playing the victim. I've said that many times. He loves to play the victim. Now, there is someone that is going up against him that is going to change life as we know it for him. Tanya Chutkan. That is the federal court judge that is going to make his life miserable. I believe she's a circuit court judge, right? She's in the circuit court. And then there's the appellate court, the Court of Appeals, Federal Court of Appeals. And then there's the Supreme Court. I think that's the 1, 2, 3. So this is step number 1. He is going to Tanya, that name right there. She is the one who is going to preside over his trial. He's in a lot of trouble. He's in a lot of trouble. And this is not an opinion about what he said, but it says in the indictment that he literally tried to intervene to change the election. He literally tried to stop the certification of the election. He tried to get the vice president to help him overthrow the will of the people, and that can never be allowed. So he's not going to shy away from this one. He is running out of options. He may be running for president in a jail, and I'm not exaggerating, because he's been threatening people in ever so much a dog whistle way. He has been launching threats against people. So, yeah, the judge is not discouraged or deterred by his celebrity. It was said that Meghan and Harry, well, no, just Meghan, I think, that Meghan was seen at a movie theater watching the Barbie movie. Now, I don't know how true that is, because you know that as a, Meghan, a lot of times people can get those movies at home. Those movies are actually available via the internet. I don't know if you guys know this, but movie theaters don't fool around with those big movie reels. The movies are distributed over the World Wide Web. You don't need to send those big canisters filled with film anymore. They could actually do the movies over the internet. So I'm pretty sure that if they can do that for a big movie theater, that if certain people want to see the movie at home, they can do that. So I'm kind of finding that hard to believe, but it may be true. Some people still want that experience. Oh, Petal says, hey, Baron, just a heads up, Andrew Gold channel is also a Sussex hate channel. Hey, squaddies, I did not know that. Okay, well, thank you for the heads up, because I was definitely curious about his channel. Give me 1 second, you guys. Okay, sorry about that, y'all. But yeah, so thank you so much for that, Pedal, and thank you so much for being here on Royal Sussex. And you guys, there's the link right there. Let me put the link up there at the top. Now, you guys know I'm always saying, give them hell, Pedal, give them hell. Pedal has just shown you her superpower. Pedal has the ability to recall these people and places and situations. You see what I mean? In an instant, she saw that face and heard that name and was like, hate channel. You understand what I'm saying? So do not walk, run to your subscribe button and get over to Facts and Two Cents and subscribe. And I'm telling you, Petal goes deep. She has that ability. I am in awe of it. It's incredible the way she can string those plots together and find out who's naughty and who's nice. So do it. The link is at the top of the chat. Even if you have to go out and come back in, get over there and subscribe. Thank you. See what I mean? Superpower. All right, so that is what I heard, is that our Duchess may have been at the movies watching the Barbie, but I find it hard to believe because I have it on good authority that on occasion people are able to watch these things at home, especially people, like the Sussexes. Now, you may have seen this illustration before. Andrew, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex, and happy Sunday to you. Now, you may have seen this illustration before, but I'm going to share it with you again. I changed the wording. I was editing my behind off today. I mean, I got rid of Connor, and I saw this, and I'm like, you know what? Let me reimagine this. So instead of what it said before, this time it says, Meghan made... So that is one of those conspiracies that needed to be straightened out. And Batman decided to, with the sting of the glove across Robin's face, I don't think he'll make that mistake again. Oh, thank you, Lydia. I've been having so much fun ever since I've gotten these computers worked out. I've been able to do stuff that I was like unable to do for a while there because my computer kept locking up and freezing and stuff like that. But now I got some things figured out, so I am free to have fun again. And yesterday we were discussing this situation here where Sir Elton John had a wardrobe malfunction. Now, trust me, it wasn't like Janet Jackson. It wasn't like a Janet Jackson. There was no flesh shown that I know of. But somehow those gold lame pants with the elastic waist, for comfort, those gold lame pants that has that elastic waist, somehow began to slide down. I would say his torso, but I'm not sure he still has one. But it slid down, and he had to do a little, almost looks like he's dancing a jig, doesn't it? But he had to do a little twist, a little turn, and then a little kick left, kick right to pull him up. Who was talking about that yesterday? I forget now. But yeah, we had that conversation about the gold lame pants because apparently one of the squatties found themselves in a spot of bother trying to pull up their yoga pants. And of course, some yoga pants are not created equal. Not all bodies look the same. And if you find yourself coming out of a shower and you're in a hurry, you definitely shouldn't try to put your yoga pants on. You should wait until your skin is completely dry, because otherwise you have to do a twist, turn, kick, kick, kick left, kick right, and eventually you're able to get them past your hips. But if you don't do that, then you're going to find yourself in the middle of a concert, in the fight of your life, trying to get those yoga pants up. I think it was Shelly L, right? I think it was Shelly L. But yeah, she said that she could not stop thinking about Elton John because she was struggling to get her yoga pants up. And I tell you, sometimes Lululemon is your best friend or your worst enemy. But when it's a good day, Lululemon is everything that you've ever wanted and everything that you've ever needed. But on a bad day, Lululemon could be like a near life ending event, especially if you're around pointed furniture and such. You could really hurt yourself. So let that be a lesson. But if Elton John is any type of motivation for you, if there's any encouragement to be had, then realize that Elton John was able to pull his trousers over his stomach, and you can too. So there you go. And as you may have read recently, those gold lame pants are on display at the Victoria and Albert Museum. Yes, they actually have his wardrobe failure gold lame pants from his last concert is on display at the Victoria and Albert Museum. So if you want to see them, if you want to try to understand the engineering of those trousers and why they nearly failed, you can see them up close at the V&A. I'm just kidding. Those pants are not on display at the museum, but I couldn't resist. I know. I hope Elton John's not watching. I don't want to give him like a complex about his gold lame pants, because if gold lame has been important to anybody, as a matter of fact, nobody has found better use for gold lame pants since Sylvester passed away. Sylvester did more with gold lame than just about anybody, but a close second, and now the reigning king is Sir Elton John. So there you go. B. Martin says, okay, Baron, where the dolls at? I want them. Oh, B. Martin, these are actually created from the AI. It's from a phone app. These come from one of those apps on your phone. And you can turn anyone into a Barbie doll. That is where they're coming from. Basically, it just, it does what it needs to do. But the computer reimagines the situation, and it uses software to change the light and the shape and everything. So it even creates the background. It's pretty clever. I mean, if you could buy those, I'm sure a lot of people would. But thank you so much for asking, and thank you for the super sticker. And, Andrew Bodie, thank you for the super sticker. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Andrew, you're a travel nurse, right? Or you're I know you're a nurse, but yeah, I think about you sometimes, because I have been watching some videos on YouTube about people that have done travel nursing, and it seems like an amazing adventure. So I hope you're making the mess of the mess. I hope you're making the most of it, not the mess of it, the most of it. Oh, I'm messy. Okay, the most of it, not mess of it. No, thank you, Paddle. Thank you. I mean, I'm telling you, I lean into the computer when you're putting that stuff together. It's like a force of nature. I enjoy it a lot. So we did that and that and that. And here we go. The producer of Suits wants Meghan Markle back for a revival. I usually wouldn't bother with something like this on most days, but this is not something that you should look at and just kind of scoff like. This is success. The fact that a show that ended years ago, Meghan left the show, 2017? The fact that there is so much interest in that show, a lot of that is because it's just a great show. But then there's also Meghan that people are just discovering. And even though the show probably would do well being streamed the way it is. A lot of it is also Meghan. Meghan was the breakaway character in the show. And when there's a breakaway character, that's a good place to be because they expand your role because of your popularity, because of your talent and ability. And they expand the role for that reason. So this is not in any way a bad thing. It just goes to show that the show is doing very well. The other actors and other people that wrote the show, the directors, everybody is enjoying their day in the sun again. So right here, you can see it says, I'm expecting a call at some point, he said, of the possibility of a reboot. But he made sure to be clear that nothing's in the works yet. But I am not aware of any serious conversation. It's just one of those things where in this day and age, you wouldn't be surprised if somebody called you someday, but so far, nothing that I am aware of. And about the whole Meghan situation, Jean Klein is keeping it real, saying that she probably won't be included if and when anything happens. I would assume that's just not possible. He said of Meghan's possible return. It was a complicated dance, keeping everybody involved, getting all of the actors' deals done and keeping them involved through the end of the show. He said of the cast, I'd be surprised if we could thread that needle for a reunion, but I'd also be delighted if that happened because when you do a show for that long, everybody becomes such good friends, and they seem to have been the best of friends on that show. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing. I'm pleased because I'm so glad that people are seeing Meghan's talent, because the tabloids and the haters have done so much to try to downplay Meghan's talent, to downplay her intelligence, and to try to make her out to be some type of villain. But having younger people, as I read somewhere, young people, they expect to be able to stream a show. Oh, Celibacy. I think that's where I heard that, Celibacy. They said that the younger people, their shows get canceled, their favorites get canceled like after the first year. But something that is still very current and something that has some great acting, great plots and such, that is available to stream, it has been nothing but a success. And everybody knows it. So I'm glad for this. Very glad for this moment. Yeah, Sonia Johnson, thank you for saying that. Yep. Elton John has been Harry's, unofficial godfather for a long time, and he has looked out for Harry, and I'm sure that even now he's still close to Harry and Meghan and the kids. So that is something that I'm glad they have that. I'm glad they have that. Let's see. Justice Siempre says, clearly Suits' new success is also related to Harry and Meghan on Netflix documentary. And I am better than her. Residual checks from Suits is healthy. Yeah. You said I'm betting, not better. Betting. Oh, I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm sure those residual checks, I hope and pray that, and not just for her, but for everyone on the cast, because everybody needs money. So I hope that everyone on the cast is doing well. With the strikes going on right now, apparently some people have gotten some pretty raw deals. So I'm hoping everybody is doing well. Oh, that's not for me. Sorry about that. Lola Love says, I finished watching all 8 seasons on Netflix today. I'm going over to Amazon to watch season 9. Very cool. Very, very cool. Let's see. Alicia says she was accomplished before she met Harry. Amen to that. Thank you so much. Right on. Right on. So this happened. I got another soundbite for you. This happened today. Misan Harriman did a TED Talk. And you know, this guy is so deep and so profound and just so... I love this guy. Here, let me do this for you.
It took 104 years to get to my cover.
Oh, sorry about that. It's a lot louder than I thought. Let me do it again.
Extraordinary career. It took 104 years to get to my cover. Since then, I've had this extraordinary career, photographing amazing humans, amazing moments. But beyond all the glitz and all the glamour, it is really important for me to recognize the intentionality and the empathy of where my lens must look.
Okay, one more time.
The world is burning right now.
One more time.
And we cannot pass each other by like ships in the night. So my lens has to look to where voices need to be lifted. It took 104 years to get to my cover. Since then, I've had this extraordinary career, photographing amazing humans, amazing moments. But beyond all the glitz and all the glamour, it is really important for me to recognize the intentionality and the empathy of where my lens must look. The world is burning right now, and we cannot pass each other by like ships in the night. So my lens has to look to where voices need to be lifted.
Okay, so by the way, good night, Elaine Parker. We're just about done, so I don't think you're going to miss anything, but thank you so much for staying awake with us and for watching Royal Sussex. So Misan Harriman is at a TED Talk. He's doing a TED Talk. When you do a TED Talk, they don't allow you to have any notes or anything like that. You don't have a script. You just speak from the heart. You speak from experience. Well, there were several images that was on the big screen behind him. And of course, I wanted to make sure that I did a screenshot of that one in particular. But there were several of them, and I can tell you who some of the other ones were. But so that was going on behind him. And of course, everybody, well, every squatty, of course, locked eyes. Okay. So there's Lewis Hamilton. There's, oh gosh. Oh, that's going too fast for me. Oh, I don't know who that is. Okay, that's Lewis Hamilton. There's Adele. I think that's Adele. No, that's not Adele. Oh, I don't know who that is. And somebody else. But anyway, I only care about the Sussexes. So there you go. Just wanted to share that with you. And there is the photo, nice and clear and larger so you can see it, although every squatty knows that image. And there's this. If the Sussexes were ever made into a cartoon, a Disney cartoon, it would probably look a lot like this. So where this originates from, I have no idea, but I found it. I'm sharing it. I love it. That is the Disney version of Harry and Meghan, Disney cartoon anyway. So who knows? Maybe this is a storyboard from a proposed film, maybe? Who knows? It would be interesting, though, wouldn't it? Eat your heart out, Narnia. And lastly, congratulations to Simone Biles, wins her first competitive gymnastic event since 2021, qualifies for U.S. national championships. So congratulations, Simone Biles. It's a roaring comeback. We're so proud of you. since 2021. As you know, she's been married. And anyway, I'm glad for her. So just wanted to send a shout out to her. And on to our queens, which means that we are done. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Sunday and Monday morning to you all. Good night again, Elaine Parker, just in case you're just closing your eyes. Good night. Thank you for watching Royal Sussex. And let's see. Okay. Oh, thank you to the moderators for keeping us a safe space. Thank you all for your very generous contributions to new membership and so on. What else do I have? I think that's it. I will be looking for the last word of the day. And also, you guys, as I said before, there is going to be a lot of incoming leading up to the polo match, the polo charity. Speaking of charity, I almost forgot. Well, we're still in the early days of it, but there's a link on the community tab for the Sussex Squad worldwide fundraiser for Harry and Meghan's birthday, which will benefit the Centabale. Okay, yes, Centabale. Oh, I'm sorry, you guys. It has been raining nonstop, and you know how I am when it rains. I have been I guess the atmospheric pressure or something gets to me, but I'm just like, I'm ready to go back to sleep. I'm not really sleepy, though. I just feel sluggish, like I have no energy. But I tell you what, from when I started earlier, from the beginning of Royal Sussex, I came roaring out like a lion, but I think now I probably need to drink some orange juice or something. I probably need a cookie. But, Andrew Bodie, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. And Gail Becker says, hey, I finally figured out how to do this. Thank you. Thank you so much, and thank you for your persistence and your generosity and your thoughtfulness and your kindness. I really, really do appreciate it. All right, you guys. I enjoyed today very much. I had so much fun today. I was in a very good mood. Yellow Rose Teas has been a member for 1 month. Any Invictus Game channels in the U.S.? Thank you, Baron. I don't know. I forgot how we watched last time. But closer to the event, there's always a squatty that will drop some links. Now, I'm guessing. I'm trying to remember. Was that Pedal last time? But we will get some links for you guys. And if you're not on Twitter, don't worry. But that's usually the first place we find them is on the Twitter. But we will get some links and we will share them. And I will make sure that I have them in the community tab when the time comes, because we don't want to miss a thing. But also, if you have the, what is that? One of those VPN things where you can change your web address or however that works, I think that's another possible way to see it. So, but we'll figure it out. I mean, I have so much that I watched, but I'm thinking you know what it is? I comb the social media looking for videos, and that's how I get most of my videos, is that I'm always looking for appearances of Harry and Meghan, most of all, and then a few of the other things like the ceremonies and such. I try to keep up to date with that. So whatever I find, I'm going to make a video out of it, and I'll be so glad to share it with you. So, but otherwise, the opening and closing ceremonies, I hope we will be able to watch that in its entirety. Let's see. The sound has gone, really? Oh, I'm sorry. I hope everybody else can hear me. Oh, wait. There we go. The sound is gone. All right. That's what I meant to do. Oh, yes. Good night, Black Queen. Good night, Lambert. Good night, Faith. Good night, Creative Life. Good night until we meet again, as Roy and Dale would say. Happy trails to you. I think that's going to be our last word. We'll close with that. All right. Night all. Until we meet again, as Roy and Dale would say, happy trails to you. I love it. Thank you so much for that. Okay. Good night, everyone. Love you guys, and I will see you all tomorrow. Don't forget to go over to the top of the chat and subscribe to Pedal over at Facts and 2 Cents. That's Facts and 2 Cents. The link is at the top of the chat. And a lot of times I'm listening and doing other things like prepping or cooking or cleaning or whatever. Sometimes I'm driving. I guess the most unusual place where I've ever listened to Facts and 2 Cents or the Duchess of Success or Lady Sussex or Ivy or VS. Oh, you guys don't know. I have been like driving or in the grocery store. Sometimes I'll have my Bluetooth in my ear and I'm just like listening and shopping. I listen on the way there. I listen while I shop. I come home, I put the food away, all of that stuff. So that is very cool. Oh, good morning from Scotland. All right. Thank you so much. Good morning to you too. Let's see. Kumbu, Sylvia, Anush, Nwamuo. I think I got that right. Not close, I'm sure. But thank you so much. And thank you for saying good morning to us. Yes. Peace out. Peace out. Deuces. Peace out. Oh, really? Baron, please hit the bell for Lola Love, member since May. Wait, there you go. Well, thank you so much, Lola Love. How did I miss that? That must have been a while ago, huh? Okay, I must have missed it. I probably had a video playing or something, but thank you so much for the reminder. All right, and with that, I am going to cue the Ginger Avenger and see you all tomorrow. Why do I feel like I'm forgetting something? I do that every day, don't I? I feel like I'm forgetting something. But what? What am I forgetting? Oh, well, I'll find it tomorrow.